Thank you for being with me. Today, I would like to share my idea of digital vaccinations to prepare ourselves for digital era and times through forming a new order with a new science. We call this one as already Cyborg Things in this class. So we've been living in a state with the minimum the possible job opportunity. Right now is very close to zero under coronavirus pandemic situations. And then we are stepping into new world, which include society without any job with the human labor, instead with the robotic automation technology society. So we call this one from the vacant of a human labor as negative entropy. That somebody, and actually Professor Bernard Stiegler, that defined this state in this society in the future as negative entropy society, the Anthropocene. So we are approaching to that state with a negative entropy without any job except producing automation society with the robotic labor equipped with artificial intelligence. So as we know, even automation society produce a lot of product and service to earn money. Everything is possible through the capital investment. Robotic provided by the capital produce another wealth in the name of capital. So then we call this one once again without any human labor, the virtually, then called as the Anthropocene. With this, we have situations with the discrimination and inequality. We probably have a different starting line resulted from biased, wealth biased class allows from the Anthropocene society without any human labor value being centering around the human, and instead through automatic society with the technology with artificial intelligence and robotic and automation technology. With that, we probably accept the discriminations similar to a situation in airplane between the two different classes, business class and economic class, resulted from a different payment with money and capital. With that, we are very limited situation to be able to communicate with the other person only through a screen, the window. Okay, so then we are lacking a lot of times in a communication language, so-called sign in various systems, where we can communicate with the other person to produce sometimes order, sometimes a system in return to contribute to our society through our inside value and outside value together with the other person. So please do not forget the students. I mean, you are digital generations born after the year of 1989, when the Soviet Union collapsed, WWW concept and the GIS concept were invented at that time. And after that, generations been exposed to digital languages and sign unconsciously, consciously as well, probably have a different communication system to communicate with different the sign other than language the older generation been using since industrial revolutions the times. Then you are also the subject to create a new sign for the new system to make a new word through those invention of the societal systems resulted from communication in every time, every places in the future. So right-hand side, we have a frame where we have designated non-flexible regulations and governance and a structure by which we behave, we act based on our standard, okay, to accustom to or to apply ourselves to the older systems. So where a lot of the regulation already exists to control us. So we call these situations as systematic the society with the frame, with the law, with the regulation. But the left-hand side, so especially younger generation can make a new order, to form the new order from the communication with the different sign on the different system, including education, politics, and economy as well. So through creation of the newly developed sign from young generation and digital generation. So let me summarize up to now. So society comprised of a system. The system comprised of a communication. Communication are only possible through a sign. So if you create a new sign, you can newly form the communication between us, between younger generation, or between the younger generation and a senior generation who have most of the wealth. Thus, they have a power to control you and all the classes, including country, governance, and every layer. And then communication can make a system, and then we have a new society. That's the, I think, revolution of our society in terms of a sign development. So you are digital generations, senior generation like me also cyborg, because we are equipped with the smart instrument like the handphone and cell phone and the computer system. And then we are already using the digital sign, but from your intuitive and creative invention of a sign, then we can communicate newly to form the new the society. So at the first, we look at our language. So we are using Korean language and English to communicate between two summit. They use the different language through translator, but this translation, even through translation, they cannot communicate because they for example, Trump and Kim Jong-un, they have a different meaning with which they would like to select a different way. So communications, they have a communication from different angle, then they never communicate, I believe. So to communicate between two summit from the North Korea and the US, they developed a new sign instead of a translation step. Okay, that's what I believe to contribute to this the summit conversation to bring peace into Korea. So in a digital future society, you probably want to create a new sign to bring new order into communication system, including many different areas, such as education, economy, and politics even. And then we can form orders with the signs to be communicated. The secondary collaboration is very important between us, but to communicate through collaboration, you need another factor to influence your collaboration and communication, which is such as priming water. So only through communication and collaboration, we don't have any water outcome, the consequences from our collaboration, co-work. Only if we put our prime water into this pump, we can have water finally. So with digital society, priming water may be digitalized sign to be used for your communication, I believe. So a long time ago, we have this riddle. When the Sphinx asked to the king Oedipus, what could be things which has the 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs at noon, 3 legs in the afternoon. The answer was a human at that time with a cane and stick. But in a digital society, the answer should be different from a human. So it is a sign which is needed for human in digital society. So in the afternoon, when he get old, when he have the situation where we need to communicate with the other person, we need a sign in various different society, including education, once again, politics and economy. So answer should be sign other than a cane and stick. So we have a different standard of value. We have a different unit of account. Long time ago, still working with this society, the human labor has been and still is a standard of value where we use this the standard to bring another value to compare each other and to make a transaction possible in a market. And then we set up this one to globally exchange our service, wealth, product, and many different things. And then the worker and the laborer organize a labor union to protect their right against the big power and the capital power. So and the government and many different the power institution. And then the people been talking about the sharing economy with platform business, but they still use the standard value of from a human labor. Okay, but in a Anthropocene society, where there are almost zero occupation of a job, occupied by the human labor. Instead, we can produce value through data productions. Okay, so because data is new oil, then if you select some kind of option through data selection around the net, around the internet, then you are supposed to receive some kind of a payment from those selection through the producing big data. So you are wired, so produce a lot of valuable data. So we call this a society as automation society. So every single scrap are valuable. So people got the profit and benefit, payment sometimes through money. So at that time, in near future, where the data is oil, so the basic income is a rare conservative concepts. So even beyond universal basic income, we have to develop, we have to create a new concept, okay, so with which we can share our wealth. So through this standard of value, newly formed under big data times. And then it is sign with which we communicate and can change the world. Through system newly formed with sign we create. Okay, the first example we already know, physics standard money. This is not the only example of the money. Then as a digital generation, you propose different money, or you can design the society without any money, up to you. So local money, global money, virtual money, and any money at all. So as a sign for economic system to form new system to create a new society. So here is, you already know this, the example, propose myself with a different unit of account, disappearing the value concept as well. So if you accept the existing sign of a degree and credit and certificate ranking for our existing education system, we are going to be controlled by the power from university, power of government, the power of a global education system. Only when you create a new sign for education system so that we can evaluate each other and we recommend the other person to the project and company, education institute, and then we are able to change system of education and subsequently change the world based on those education system. So I propose to you as a digital generation to create a sign. So that's why I propose a Cyborg Think in this class. So we equipped with a digitalized instrument to produce some kind of a sign to be used when communicating with the other person, and then a communication. Those communications make new system and a new society, where the minimum discrimination, minimum inequality exists. So I hope that's my suggestion to you through this class in the name of a Cyborg Think with the sign and newly formed from the digital society. So there are no magic sign like open sesame. So every communication with different system, then you are going to make your own between your colleagues, and then the people understand what you mean by something of value in the society. Okay, that's my hope. So once again, there are frame, data form. It's up to you to select which option do you prefer to take in your future. So stick to existing rigid order, or you form flexible order with a new sign you propose for our society. That's up to you, including you propose different sign, including such as the money, you sign for economic, education, politics, and many others. But you're still young, okay? So even with new sign proposed for other colleagues, especially younger generations, you're very happy and eager and relatively easy to take those signs to be used to communicate with each other. But the senior generation like me, very difficult. And we have to take a risk of this one in exchange of some kind of value we already have, because we are older generations. So please make, when you are making a new sign, please make simultaneously together digital vaccine, so that with that we can relatively easily accustom to that situation. So I'm not talking about the filial piety from Confucian traditions. I'm talking about communication with a new sign to design new system. I hope you understand that. Without the system of a new order, so we always subject to some kind of a subject to the being controlled by some kind of powers, such as money and government and institutions and corporations, organizations like Google. Okay, and then we are seniors, so we would like to worry, because that is our advantage and our responsibility, we believe, toward the younger generations. So you might hate that. You might not take those the worries and advice from our older generation, but without those communication with this worry, concern from older generation, so you are limited. Even if you are young, even if you produce a lot of sign for new the system, but you are limited, because older generation and senior generations have a lot of the capital, wealth, and power to control our society still. And then you convince through your sign, through your digital vaccine, then you can convince older generation and senior generation to invite older generation into your world, digitally designed. That's my suggestions. Thank you for being with me with this topic. I hope you evolve and develop your idea through this the class and a project you take. Okay, so I'm more than happy to accept your proposal and writing together with Professor Bradley Tartar and Ihir. Okay, thank you for attention.